What is up there, everyone? This is Hawaiian Air 2121 with a January 2023 Newark Liberty International Airport update. I got a couple of new models and tons of new routes. I'm really excited to show everyone. So let's begin, and thank you guys so much for 600 subscribers. Before we start this update, I just wanted to say thank you all. It really means the world to me, and I'm really appreciative of it. So without further ado, let's begin today's airport update. So starting us off at Terminal C, we have a United Airlines Boeing 737-900 and a new Evo Blue livery. And this plane has just arrived at the gate from a flight from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Getting some luggage and fuel on board, here is a United Express E175 and the Continental Merger livery. And this plane is currently getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Louisville, Kentucky. Pulling out of its gate is United Airlines Boeing 757-200 and the Her Art Here NJNY livery for a flight out to Chicago ORD. It is currently taxiing out of its gate. Here we have a United 737-700, which is just waiting for the 752 and the Her Art Here NJNY livery to depart its gate. But this United Airlines Boeing 737-700 has just arrived at the terminal from a flight from Portland. Getting some fuel on board as well as boarding up its crew, here is United Airlines Boeing 787-9 with plans to fly out to Tel Aviv later this afternoon. Here we have a United Airlines Boeing 737-900 in the old livery, and this plane is currently just arriving at the gate from a flight from Denver, Colorado, and is currently hooking up to the gate to deboard its passengers. Here in the Star Alliance livery, here is a United Airlines Boeing 737-700 with split skimitars, a stunning model, and this plane is currently boarding up its passengers for a flight out to Santa Ana, California. Here we have a United Airlines 777-200 in a new livery. This is also a gorgeous model, and this plane is boarding up its crew for a long flight out to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Subbing out for a 777-200, here's an Air France 777-300 in the SkyTeam livery, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Air France has recently started a 777-200 service out from Newark to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Fortunately, I don't have a 777-200, so this 777-300 in the SkyTeam livery will sub out for that plane. Over here we have an Iceland Air Boeing 757-200 taxiing to the runway for flights out to Keflavik International Airport. Over here we have a United Airlines Boeing 737-900 in the Eco Skies livery. This plane is currently getting some luggage on board for a short flight out to Washington IAD. United occasionally operates a 737-900 out to Washington IAD according to Flight Radar 24. Up next, we have this United 737-700 in the old livery, and this plane is currently getting some fuel on board for flights out to Cleveland, Ohio. Here is the retro United Airlines Friendship livery A320, and this plane is getting some catering on board for a flight out to West Palm Beach and will depart the gate in approximately 1 hour after boarding. Here is the British Airways 777-200 in the Hong Kong tail. This plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from London Heathrow and is currently taxiing to Terminal B. Here we have a United Express CRJ-550 with plans to fly out to Syracuse, and a Star Alliance United Airlines Boeing 737-800 in a new livery with plans to fly out to Las Vegas, Nevada. Over here is United Express CRJ-700 with plans to fly out to State College, Pennsylvania today. Over here is United 787-8 in the old livery, and this plane is first boarding its passengers for a long flight out to Frankfurt. Taxiing to the runway is United Airlines Boeing 737-900 in the old Continental Merger livery with the split scimitar winglets. And this plane is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to San Diego, California. And over here is just the absolutely gorgeous JetBlue A320 in the Blue Rica livery, and this plane is taxiing out for a flight out to West Palm Beach. Taxiing to the runway, here is a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the SkyTeam livery. This plane is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to Atlanta, Georgia. Here we have a FedEx Shorts 360, and this plane is taxiing to the runway for flights out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Over here we have a United Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the new livery. This plane is getting some luggage on board for flights out to Fort Myers. And then we have this United Airlines Boeing 737-800 getting some fuel on board, as well as boarding up its first passengers for flights out to Nashville, Tennessee. Delayed for approximately 1 hour due to weather, here is a United Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the new livery, getting some catering on board for a flight out to Houston, IAH. Up next, we have this United Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the new livery, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to San Francisco. Just arriving at the gate, here's a United Express EWR-145, and this plane is just arriving at the gate from a flight from Ithaca, New York. Here we have a United Express E170, and this plane is taxiing out of its gate at the E145. It's just arrived at the gate, and this plane is taxiing out of its gate for a flight out to Albany, New York. Getting some luggage on board, here's a United Airlines Boeing 737-700, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Tampa, Florida. Starting us off for the C2 concourse, here at gate C100 we have a United Express E175 and a new livery, and this plane is boarding up for a flight out to Rochester, New York. And just leaving its gate, here is a United Express CRJ200, and this plane is leaving its gates for a flight out to Harrisburg. Here we have a United Airlines Airbus A319 in the old livery, and this plane is boarding up its passengers, getting some luggage on board for flights out to Buffalo, New York. Over here we have a United Airlines Boeing 757-200 with a new upgraded scimitar winglets in the old livery, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for flights out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Delayed for about 1 hour and 15 minutes, here is a United Airlines 777-200 in the Star Alliance livery. This plane had plans to fly out to LAX but was delayed for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Over here making its appearance is a United Airlines Boeing 767-400, and this plane is deboarding its luggage and has just arrived at the gate about 5 minutes ago from a flight from Honolulu, Hawaii. Taxiing to the runway, and also known as the Flying Pencil, here's a United Airlines Boeing 757-300 with plans to fly out to Barcelona, Spain. Over here at the airport is a United Airlines Airbus A320, and this plane is taxiing to gate C103. This plane has arrived at the airport from a flight from Denver, Colorado. Over here we have a United Airlines Boeing 787-10 in the stunning new livery, and this plane is getting some fuel on board for a flight out to London Heathrow. Up next we have the Flying Pencil, or United 757-300 in a new livery. This plane has just arrived at the gate from a flight from LAX. Up next we have this United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 in a new livery, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Over here we have a United Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Rise of Skywalker livery, getting some fuel on board for a flight out to Detroit, and will depart the gate in approximately 1 hour after first boarding its passengers. Almost reaching the beginning of the C2 concourse, here is a United Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the Star Alliance livery. This is a really nice model, and this plane has just arrived at the airport and is currently getting its baggage off the plane and going to the baggage concourse, and the passengers are deboarding the plane from a flight from Orlando, MCO. Taxiing to gate C102, here is a United Express HOU-400, and this plane is taxiing to the gate from a flight from Hartford, Connecticut. Unfortunately, United retired the HOU-400, but we will use this plane anyway. Over here is a great new model, the Aer Lingus Airbus A330-200, and this plane is taxiing to Terminal B from a flight from Dublin, Ireland. I was really looking for an Aer Lingus model, so I'm really happy to have this model. And taxiing to the runway, here is an American Airlines Airbus A321neo. And this A321neo is taxiing to the runway for flight out to Chicago ORD. And over here we just have the stunning United Airlines 757-200 in a HOU-Fully California livery. This is just one of my favorite United Airlines planes. And this plane is taxiing to the runway for flight out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. So starting us off for Terminal B, we have a very busy lineup today. Is an LL 787-9 in their retro livery. This is a really cool model. I would highly recommend it. It's a very nice model. And this LL 787-9 in the retro livery has just arrived to the airport from a flight from Tel Aviv. Next up, heavily being catered as well as getting some fuel on board. Here's an Air China 777-200ER. And this is in the peony livery. This plane is retired, but I really like this model. And this plane is just getting some heavily catering and some fuel for flights out to Hong Kong. And then we have this TAP A350-900 with boarding up its first passengers for flight out to Lisbon, Portugal. Not really sure if TAP operates the A350 or if this was a fantasy model, but this is a really nice model by Phoenix Model, so I decided to include it in this airport update. Almost ready to depart its gate, here is a British Airways 767-300 in the Russia World Tail, and this plane is almost ready to depart its gates for a flight out to London Heathrow. Over here getting some fuel on board as well as some luggage, here's a British Airways 757-200 in the Pause to Remember Poppy livery, and this plane is getting some fuel on board as well as some luggage for a flight out to Stockholm. Here we have the stunning UPS Boeing 747-400F with plans to fly out to Louisville, Kentucky. And over here we have a custom model, a Spirit A320neo in the DreamWorks Spirit movie special livery, if you will. And this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Orlando MCO. As you can see, I'm still finishing the model, but I just decided to include it in this update because I was really pleased with the progression so far. And then we have the Spirit Airlines Airbus A319 getting some catering on board for flights out to Fort Lauderdale. Over here we have a Delta Connection E170, and this plane is first loading up its passengers for flights out to Boston Logan. And just arriving at Terminal B, here's the Frontier Airlines Airbus A320 and the Mia the Dolphin Tail. This plane is getting its luggage off the plane from a flight from Denver, Colorado. And oh boy, here we have the stunning new model of this airport update. Here is the Lufthansa 787-9 by Aviation 400. This is just a gorgeous model. I would highly recommend that you guys pick it up. Probably will be in the next massive unboxing, but this Lufthansa 787-9 was getting some fuel on board for a long flight out to Frankfurt. Lufthansa began to operate the 787-9 from Newark to Frankfurt, and I'm so happy to finally have one. Almost ready to leave its gate, here's a Swiss Air Airbus A330-200 for plans to fly out to Zurich later today. And over here, taxiing to the runway, here's a Sun Country Boeing 737-800 in a new Tide Pool livery. And this plane is taxiing to the runway for flights out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Taxiing to Terminal C, here's a United Airlines Boeing 767-300 in a new livery. And this plane is taxiing to Terminal C from a flight from Houston IAH. Starting us off at Terminal A, here's an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900, and this plane is about ready to leave its gate for a flight out to LAX. Up next, here's the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 in Orca special livery. I think this is the Pacific West Coast livery or something like that, but whatever it is, it's just a stunning model. And this plane is first boarding up its passengers for flights out to Seattle, Tacoma. We have a lot of American Airlines action here at Terminal A, but starting us off with the American Airlines, here's an American Airlines Airbus A321, and this plane is getting its crew on board for a flight out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. And then we have this American Airlines Boeing 737-800 with plans to fly out to Miami, Florida later this afternoon. Taxiing into its gate, here's an American Airlines Airbus A320, and this plane is taxiing into its gate from a flight from Charlotte. And over here, here's an American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Air Cal special livery. Fun fact is, I think about a week ago this plane was at Newark Airport. But this American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Air Cal Special Retro livery has plans to fly out to DFW in a little bit. First, boarding up its passengers and crew, here's an Air Canada Airbus A319 and a Horizons Enphase Kids Horizon Special livery, and this plane has plans to fly out to Toronto. First, arriving at the airport and taxiing to the gates, here's an Alaska Airlines Airbus A321neo in the More to Love Special livery. Really nice model over here by NG Models. And this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from LAX. Over here, taxiing to Terminal A, here's United Airlines Boeing 737-800, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Miami. Again, United occupies a couple gates at Terminal A. Over here is a JetBlue Airbus A320 and the high-rise tail, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for flights out to Santiago de los Caballos. JetBlue is going to be massively revamping its Newark airport service with the addition of the new Terminal A that just opened, I think on January 8th. But they're going to be doing a whole bunch of new routes, so this is why we have a lot of JetBlues at the concourse right now. Up next, we have a JetBlue Airbus A320 in the Boston Red Sox livery, and this plane has plans to fly out to Tampa, Florida. Over here, we have a JetBlue Airbus A320, and this plane is getting some baggage on board for a flight out to LAX. Over here, we have a JetBlue Airbus A320 and the Brooklyn Nets tail. Fun fact again, this plane was at Newark about a week ago, and this plane has plans to fly out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Deboarding its luggage and also deboarding its passengers, here's a JetBlue Airbus A321 with Mint service, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Orlando MCO. And over here we have a water cannon salute, a United Airlines Boeing 737-800, which has just arrived in from West Palm Beach. This was the first aircraft to reach the new Terminal A when it opened, and I decided to recreate the scene, as over here we have the water cannon salute from this plane that's just arrived in from West Palm Beach. And the last plane of Terminal A, as United has a couple gates at Terminal A, here's United Airlines Airbus A319 in the new livery. This plane has plans to fly out to Punta Gorda, Florida, and will depart its gate in approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. This FedEx Express 777F and the Panda Express is getting some cargo on board for flights out to LAX. And the UPS version, the MD-11F, is getting some cargo on board for a flight out to Chicago ORD. So I hope you guys enjoyed this second airport update of Newark Liberty International Airport. News for the channel is that unfortunately I do start college again, so videos will probably be every 2 to 3 weeks, and topics include massive unboxings, Cleveland Hopkins International Airport updates, and West Palm Beach. I hope you guys enjoyed this airport update. If you did, please consider subscribing, as it greatly helps me support this channel. And also, thank you so much for 600 subscribers. This is Hawaiian Air 2121 signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed this airport update. Have a great day.